In Art versus Life news, submitted by Milk Before Cereal, you fucking little piece of shit.
That's weird. You gotta put the cereal first and then put the milk over.
That create a lot of like
floaties.
Fuck yeah. I did that once when I was a kid and I was like, never again.
This guy's an amateur.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar slams Quentin Tarantino for his portrayal of Bruce Lee in his recent movie.
Oh.
He has a new movie? I didn't even know.
Once Upon a
Time in Hollywood.
You really don't get out.
I love that movie. I know.
Wow.
So, who has seen it?
I watched it.
Ba-ding, bang, bang, ba-ding, bing, ba-ding.
Was it good? Do you like it?
It's
You thought it's, well, I thought
It's a Tarantino movie.
I'm a big fan of Tarantino, and I hated
You
this
sit
movie.
there the whole time going, what the fuck is happening? Wait, why did they introduce that character? Wait, what are we doing now? Fuck you!
And I'm a fan of Tarantino.
I'm a big fan of
That was
Tarantino.
some trash ass shit.
Did you know that he has a giant dildo that he brings to every set for shits and giggles, and they leave it there for funsies?
That's the only good thing I heard during this press tour.
Did you know he's having a kid?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I heard.
Got married recently too, right?
Was it an Asian lady?
No.
What?
Is he into Asians?
Yeah, he's supposed to have a.
He's in a feed, I think.
Feats. I heard about that.
Yeah. Oh, there was feet in this.
There was a
one.
lot of
Yeah,
feet.
There was feet.
I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And Once Upon a Hollywood.
We're talking about Hollywood.
Is it only female feats?
Oh yeah.
There's a big feet scene that takes a long time.
Remember the one where the chick's got her feet
in
up
the
on the
car?
dash?
Yeah. And
That's the only one I can think of, but like
Margot Robbie was sitting
that
in
shit takes up like half of the fucking screen.
It's like right here the whole time, like the whole scene.
It's just I
I didn't even like notice that.
But I did like the ass one until I found out she was underage. When she's talking through the car, she's just fucking the. Yeah, I was like, how dare you? I know why you did that, you fucking horny bastard.
The actress is underage or the character's underage?
The character.
Oh, better.
Oh god, okay, that makes sense. Okay, we're good.
Thought I was in a fun video for a sec.
You fucked up, Steve.
I thought so.
Where do you think you are right now?
But yeah.
I was like, yes, no, Joe gets to apologize for something. This would be sick.
So Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is what he currently looks like.
Hey, this is gonna be a dumb question. Basketball player, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, good.
Legendary.
He also worked with Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he was.
He's also in Airplane.
So he's an actor also.
Here's
He was in a couple things. I mean, he was basically himself in those things.
Quentin looks so fucking nasty.
the actor portraying.
Wow, that's really good.
Portraying Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
In the movie.
He's great.
Yeah.
And here's when they were together in the
Yeah.
movie.
What was that, Game of Death or something, right?
I don't remember.
That's cool.
Yeah, Game of Death.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Kareem was like the last level. So in that movie, Bruce Lee goes up every single level, and then there's like a different fighter for each one.
Well, you wouldn't think Kareem, who's the last guy, who's the last boss? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, famous basketball
I know,
player.
right?
Like, it's so funny. I love Hollywood sometimes.
Yeah, so he wrote this piece on the Hollywood Reporter website. And so he was saying, like, he even titled, like, the headline of it says, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Bruce Lee was my friend and Tarantino's movie disrespects him. So, as you guys have seen in the movie, Bruce Lee is portrayed as this super
He's a bitch.
super arrogant guy that pretty much wants to pick a fight with Brad Pitt's character, who Kareem is saying, like, you know, this guy Cliff, Brad Pitt's character, he's already like past his prime, and he, like, Bruce Lee ends up getting thrown onto a car, and it seems as though Bruce Lee lost this squabble that they had.
Yeah.
This fictitious squabble. Yeah.
Is that what it was? Like,
Yeah, it's not real. It's not like it's a real thing.
It didn't
Cliff
happen.
Booth didn't exist.
so he's mad that they made Bruce Lee lose a fight.
No,
Yeah.
they're mad. They're mad of the portrayal of Bruce Lee. He's like a character.
Arrogant.
He's like a caricature.
But I realize why they did it that way, because it's an imagination of Cliff.
Yes.
But also,
Well, the whole
but
movie,
also
too.
it just sucks. It just sucks the way that that they portrayed him.
What do you mean by imagine? Like he was daydreaming?
Yeah, remember he was thinking back. He was on the roof working on his antenna, and he's thinking back. And then in that scene, it's his memory of how things went down.
But it's a memory, or is it a fantasy, or is it an actual daydream?
That's where it's interpretive. You know, you don't know, but that's literally him thinking back. So it could have been what happened, or it could have been what Cliff imagined. And of course, Cliff thinks he's the fucking boss, right?
Yeah.
But the problem here is, I think it plays into the whole idea of what Bruce Lee was trying to fight against. these stereotypes, and what Tarantino did is he ended up portraying Bruce Lee in this light of what he was fighting against, and inaccurately portraying him, saying like he could fuck up Muhammad Ali, Cassius Clay, all that stuff. And,
Which he actually never said. He
actually said the opposite.
He said the opposite.
Yeah.
But who gives a fuck? It's a movie. That's the thing. Like this movie portrays the Sharon Tate murders as like a big bit. Like a fucking.
And they use Manson and his followers as a bit too, but also and Cliff ends up fucking killing those followers.
Yeah, I mean, and in a silly way. Like he kills them the silliest way. He literally barbecues one of them in a pool.
Yeah,
like it's not like this movie's like here to portray accurate Hollywood or any of that shit. It's completely hyper fucking fantasized.
So that is what Tarantino is saying as well. But at the same time, he's saying, because he commented on this whole thing, and he was like, Bruce Lee was an arrogant guy. So he's still standing by the way he's portraying him. But then in the very same conversation, he's saying, but this is all fictional. So he's contradicting himself.
Yeah, you can't really compare his argument with Kareem's, because Kareem knew him.
Yeah.
And he learned from him and have direct access. Quentin Tarantino saying he's an arrogant guy as he studied him or he heard about him. So I think if he just stuck to his guns and was like, oh yeah, this is just a fictional version of Bruce Lee, I think his argument would be stronger.
Exactly, that's what I was trying to get to. So then they're also saying, so Kareem was saying that, sure, you can portray him however you want, and that's what you did, and it is a fictional world, but not when it's gonna be detrimental towards it, like the public image, especially with people of today seeing Bruce Lee, and that's the image that they have of Bruce Lee, that's how he was in real life.
It's almost like, I think from Kareem's perspective, like Bruce Lee, he was like the Martin Luther King for Asians. So everything that he was fighting for to bring Asians and have equal representation, and then now you just kind of like cartoonize Martin Luther King, and he's getting his ass beat, and it's for some people, Bruce Lee is really sacred. And if you know Bruce Lee, his philosophy is you want to train as much as you can so you never have to fight.
Yeah.
So he's the type of person that would never challenge anybody, but everyone always challenged him. And he's always the type that goes, all right, if you want to challenge me, I'm going to beat the fuck out of you.
But that's because of his portrayal in the movies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, in movies, he was a cocky motherfucker.
In movies,
right?
Yeah. He's playing a character.
Right. So when you're watching that, though, that's what people used to make fun of in the 70s, 80s, and even in the 90s, like in the Naked Gun movies and shit. They were making fun of this Bruce Lee that's like, oh, even that Jim Carrey scene in Dumb and Dumber. He's like, oh,
yeah.
Like all that shit's just it's just taking Bruce Lee from the movie, parodying that. That's all people know. People don't fucking watch all the interviews and they're watching him on fucking 60 Minutes and shit. Like people don't care about that. People who view the culture, they go, oh yeah, Bruce Lee's a cocky motherfucker. Yeah. It's not that it was accurate, but like when you hear his daughter saying like he wasn't like this, it's like no, like of course not. But that's how he was in Hollywood,
movies,
in the movies, right?
Yeah.
And I also think it's a touchy subject because you're dealing with not only a group of people that see him like as like Asian Americans see him as like a legend, right? And you're destroying that, but there's also the whole martial arts community that feel, and then the way he died was it was kind of weird and tragic and it's
incredibly
really fast. So
conspiracy too, like who knows the real?
Yeah, so when you deal with legends like this,
his real death, like when he died in his sleep or something.
There's just so many.
No, he got shot on
drug poisoning. There's like
I thought that was his son.
No, he had like a brain aneurysm.
His son got shot.
Yeah. That was
right. His Brandon.
Yeah.
And then Bruce Lee died in his sleep.
Because he took an aspirin or something.
Yeah, he was on set, and then they had to take him to the hospital because he was suffering some like stroke or something, and he had some brain issue or whatever.
They were blaming it on him being allergic to an aspirin.
It could be.
It's not clear. There's also people that think someone poisoned him.
Yeah.
That, like this poison his wheat stash. I don't know. There's just like so many.
I heard he died because this guy threw him into a car.
That's what I heard too. Yeah.
But yeah, when you deal
It was American cars, so it's really strong.
When you're dealing with a legend and you're
horse.
dealing with touchy subjects like that, I think you have to do it justice because you're gonna piss a lot of fucking people off.
But that's what's crazy, right? Like you should be able to take a celebrity, do your movie, whatever. Like there shouldn't be a revered like, oh, this celebrity you can't touch this one. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like doing a Martin Luther King biopic and not talking about how he cheated on his wife and like.
Of course, but you got to be ready for getting people mad. Is what I'm saying. You can't.
That's what I was reading as well. Is like he didn't even balance it from like the real life Bruce Lee, how he really is, and like it was just nothing but this fake portrayal, like this fictitious way of how he acted. But honestly, I think where Tarantino really made this worse is by his quote. So I'll just read it directly. He said, Bruce Lee was kind of an arrogant guy. The way he was talking, I didn't just make a lot of that up. I heard him say things like that to that effect. If people are saying, quote, well, he never said he could beat up Muhammad Ali. Well, yeah, he did. Not only did he say that, but his wife, Linda Lee, said that in her first biography I ever read. She absolutely said that.
Yeah, she said it. He didn't say it. He said that he thought Muhammad Ali would kick his ass.
Yeah.
For even they're saying
he's misquoting a lot of shit.
That what she said wasn't even that either. She was quoting someone else that said that. So it wasn't even accurate in that. So
I mean, he had him in the movie for 3 minutes. He's not gonna like. And then like he goes home and he sits down after a long day on set and like he weeps because he's not understood in the medium. Like that's not what this movie was about. Like that's why portraying somebody.
What was this movie about?
Yeah. Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, brother.
I was like, what the fuck?
It's weird that he even chose Bruce Lee because really what that scene is about is Cliff thinking that he's a badass, and then and later on you see that he is a badass later on in the film. So that could have been like some giant 6'5" buff ass dude that he just randomly beat up. It didn't have to be.
It didn't have to be Bruce Lee.
Person,
but there's nobody in that era who directly one-to-one translates that Cliff Booth thinks he's a badass than beating up Bruce Lee. Like honestly,
what's that? Like Mr. T. It could be like.
Mr. T wasn't a badass though. Mr. T was laughed at. Mr. T was seen as the joke. Like even.
But I think
then.
that's a different
from the Rocky era.
From the 80s.
No.
From the 80s.
Oh yeah.
That's how he started, but that was the 80s.
Like I Pity the Fool was his whole thing. Like nobody was like, oh man.
And he was a wrestler, right? So wrestler first that turned into. Yeah.
But point being, that's almost like the thing, right? Like it's like who's the most badass of today? It's like Conor McGregor and all those guys.
Yeah.
Like that's like putting them in a movie and having Cliff Booth kick that guy's ass, and they portray Conor McGregor as like a fucking hot-headed piece of shit because that's how he portrays himself in media. But then his family's like, oh no, he's actually a really super sweet guy and he donates money to charity and he's actually super cool. But like we don't give a fuck about that. We just want to see the movie.
Yeah.
That's I think I don't do all this shit where it's like you have to portray somebody the most perfect way in a movie. Yeah. Like I'm like, let's fuck around in the movie. If it's a biopic and you're like, this is based on a true story, then yeah, you have a responsibility. But that ain't this.
But it's not a biopic,
Yeah, I agree too. You could do whatever you want. Like I'm even on the side of the camp where you can use legends like Jesus or MLK or whatever and then make them an action hero, and like how Abraham Lincoln was a fucking zombie hunter or whatever.
Hunter.
You could do all those things, but also you have to understand that you are gonna piss people off if you don't do a good job of making them the best vampire hunter.
That's right. They
better be the best. Yeah.
He better be freeing slaves too. Yeah. I'll be pissed if he's not.